What's up, Dab Gang? We are here with Juwan Johnson of the New Orleans Saints, and we are in New Orleans. We have our custom hat that we made with him, collaboration, where we have his two tones under here for Penn State and Oregon, for where he went to college, custom signature on the side, and then his patch right here. We had a little New Orleans vibe. Pink little spot right there for dads with girls, his number 83, and then salvation over circumstances. We are absolutely excited, blessed, and honored to be here. It's a beautiful city with incredible people. The Southern hospitality has just been amazing since we've been here. But man, let's get into it.
Dude, first and foremost, thank you so much for wearing Dad Gang since like we started. We've been around for just exactly 3 years, pretty much, and some change. And like, you were one of the first guys to wear our hat. Yeah. To the point where, you know, we're in the beginning of building the brand. We started it in my garage, 100 hats, just like trying to build something. Yeah. And it was one of those moments where, like, you know, a player wears a hat and we're like freaking out. Right. It's awesome. And then we kept wearing it, and it's like really cool to see. So, you know, my kind of, we're super thankful for it. And we'd love to know like what kind of like pulled you to the brand in general, obviously being a dad, but there's so many other dad brands out there. So like, what made you even, you know, want to wear our hats?
No, well, we appreciate y'all coming down to New Orleans.
Yeah.
I feel like it's great. You guys got the good weather, stuff like that. But no, it's been great. I feel like it was super dope because Dad Gang is, I guess, such a special thing to me, more so because I had a great dad myself. Like, my dad was there for everything. Like, he was literally my agent. Like, coming up, like growing up, going into high school and stuff like that, whenever like a scout would be like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, you know, we'd love to talk to you. I'd be like, yeah, just talk to my dad.
Yeah.
And it was great because, you know, we kind of built a relationship apart from just a father-son relationship. And it was cool to see how he transformed because he was also my coach as well.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, the dynamic was so different. It was so cool. And so when I was able to, you know, become a dad myself, and not necessarily in a way where I'm like coaching my daughters, but in a way where it's just like I get to be the person that I wanted, you know, to kind of be like my dad in a way. Like, he was just always there. He was always present. And so, you know, wearing a hat like this, where it was cool, like the aesthetic was great, like it was nice. I'm like, man, like Dad Gang, all right. Like, I don't see any other. I see like quirky, like kind of corny hats standing around like dad stuff. But this was like kind of in your face, and it was aesthetic, like aesthetically nice.
Yeah.
And it can kind of go with any outfit, you know, I wanted to. And you guys sent me the hat, and honestly, I just kept wearing it. I was just like, this is kind of like my go-to hat. And adorable. Like, it was nice. I was like, dang, I can't go wrong with the hat. So and honestly, from there, I think it was cool because my teammates were asking about it. And I think that was the more cool thing about, like, my teammates were like, yo, like, where you get the hat from?
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad,
it's on the hat.
It's on the hat. And so, I think that's what kind of really, like, I just kept wearing the hats, and honestly was getting more hats because people liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we have a new thing on our inside label that says more than a hat, because when we started the brand, it was like you said, there's so many other like quirky or corny brands out there, and I'm sure when you scroll Instagram, you're like, all this dad content's just like funny stuff, and then you become a dad, and you're like, it's not funny,
right?
No, it's not
right.
You know, it's hard. It's you're becoming a new man, new identity as you become a father, and so it's kind of like how can I just hop on social media and see dads mowing the lawn is like the main thing I see.
Right.
So we really tried to like hone in on that point and go deeper into fatherhood. And that's why we do these collaborations. Is like, we know you get interviewed about sports all the time in your game, but like, we want to know, and we want our audience to learn more about who Jawan the father is, rather than, you know, the football player that you talk about all the time.
Yeah. No, I think it's super cool because I feel like even inside the hat, like, people will see only what you see on the outside. People don't see what happens behind closed doors, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people don't see when, you know, my wife is sacrificing time where she's, you know, with the kids and I'm with the other one, where she's like, you know, breastfeeding and things like that. And I'm taking care of the other one. We're over here up until like, you know, 8 o'clock. And it's just like, look, can you please go to bed? Yeah. Or, you know, you see me at times where I'm after a practice or a game or something like that. And our first a child and like she literally won't go to sleep, and she were having her in a car seat, like swinging her, like trying to have her to go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, like, can you like please like go to sleep? And so they don't see like the times where, you know, that the sacrifices of, you know, doing anything to just try to get your kid to be at a calm state, you know, or driving around the car, driving around the corner to see if they fall asleep. Like just like little stuff like that.
We had to do that when our kids were young too. Actually get in the car at
Right.
2 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
in the car seat and go drive around for 30 minutes. That was the only thing to do.
Right.
And then how do you even talk about that? You know,
Right.
This is part of it. But us as dads, we just do it, you know, and it's fun to know that other dads are doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
And that was the weird part when we did start the brand, that we almost felt alone. Like, oh, this is only us. Our kid only does that. And it's actually not the case. Like everybody, no matter where you're at, your kids are going to go through issues and food issues and all the things. And you still have to show up for your work and for your wife and family on top of it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like we have 100% capacity. How are we supposed to grow more? And becoming a parent just does that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a big reason why we have, if you know, on the side, you know, and we were just at, what is it, Mammoth Coffee?
Yeah, right
across the street. And the guy's like, I'm not a dad, so, you know, I don't know that if you know, you know, but can I still wear one? We're like, sure, you know, but, you know, really, the if you know part and how it all started was us just in a text thread. And as dads, we were just having, you know, because we crack jokes all the time, like any guy's text thread does, but, you know, it's not always funny, and life gets really hard.
For sure.
And when life gets hard, you know, that was kind of like our code word. Be like, hey, I got to take a breather. I got to bounce real quick. I got to go take care of something, you know, so we just be like, dad gang, I'll be right back, you know, or I'll hit you guys up in a bit, dad gang. And that was just kind of like our sign, like, oh, okay, he has to go, you know, do something there. But, you know, a question I want to ask is, given your journey, like through 2 colleges and then undrafted and now signing, right? Have you had like a moment where you're just sitting there and you're just like, wow, we did it?
Yeah. There's been times of reflection. I think more so this year than any other year, just because I even told, you know, my wife, this is just like the contract that I got this year was something that I've always wanted since I entered the league. Like I just wanted something that was comfortable for me, but I wanted, you know, 10 a year, and that's just like how it was. And you know, leading up to our journey, like our journey wasn't great. I mean, you know, we were cut, you know, rookie year, and she's just like, well, I didn't know you could get cut. I'm like, yeah, like we could get like cut and we could be on another team and like just like that. But we were in practice squad, and you know, we got signed to the team late my rookie year, and just reflecting on all of it, it's just like, well, man, like how did we get here? And like how did we stay so consistent? I'm reading a book right now. It's called you know, How to Lead When You're Not in Charge. And so it's just like, well, what are the ways in which, you know, you could lead in a way where you're not in charge, and, you know, how are you going to go about, you know, kind of your days, knowing that, you know, you're not that guy or you're not the starter and things like that. And I think I wanted to just hold myself accountable in just the way that I went about my days. And it had questions like, well, you know, what do you do, you know, when you're not, you know, when you're not in charge? I'm just like, well, man, I mean, you know, I study my playbook, I do all these other things, and like, yeah, but those are the keys to do things when people aren't looking at you. Like, you got to do things when people aren't looking at you. It's kind of similar to like we were talking about earlier, just about being a dad. You know, we just do things not because people are looking at us, but people aren't looking at us. That's what really like is true character. So, yeah, just reflecting on just like the whole time, the whole duration of my career. It truly has been fun. It's been a testament what God has done. It truly has been crazy. I'm just like, man, I don't know how I'm here. But yeah, I mean, we've been, you know, faithful with little, and, you know, we're just trying to be steadfast in what we, you know, what we want to do in the future.
Do you feel like that this recent moment that you guys, when you signed this recent one, means so much more now that you have your family here with your 2 kids and your life, versus if you were to just get that right out of the gate out of college?
Yeah. It makes you more hungry.
Yeah.
I definitely felt, a hunger that I never had before, not making a team and then, you know, being on a team. But I feel like, you know, having your family, you have a lot more to play for. You have a lot more to go after. I mean, even like, you know, the Dad Gang brand, like you have much more to, you know, work for and strive for and get up for, and to, you know, work an extra hour for, because you have your family to keep in mind. And I feel like that's what I do, like knowing that, you know, I'm taking care of my body, or, I'm taking the extra rep. I'm staying at the practice. Yes, for what I want, but more so because I have to provide for people I have in the back of my mind who I'm playing for.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just really fun to know that, like, even like after games and stuff like that, after the hard work that we put in all week, like the whole off season, after those games or after those practices, I get to see, my family.
Yeah.
And I honestly get to live out a dream that I've always wanted to live since I was a kid.
It's a whole lifetime of work.
Yeah.
A whole lifetime of dedication. And now that is being synced into your family.
Right.
And now you're starting 2 whole new lives
Right.
where, it's super cool. The reason why I asked that question is because before I came here, I was holding Banks, my 7-week-old, and my son Jackson and my wife Rochelle were in the pool, and that was their first time they really had good one-on-one time in a while. And I'm just standing there with the door closed, looking through to the backyard, and them just swimming. It was Teddy Swims was playing, Northern Lights, Rest Your Head on My Shoulder. He was singing it. And it was just such a symbolic moment because when I had Jax, I was 25 years old.
Yeah.
And we were living paycheck to paycheck, just the hustle and grind. I was picking Rochelle up at the bus stop and dropping her off, and she was taking it downtown, doing hair, coming back. I was, so it's just like the whole journey. And then that moment sitting there looking down at my 7-week-old and then looking up and seeing them just laughing. I think it was so symbolic. I don't even know what, but it was just, everything slowed down. And he just all of a sudden tilted his head back and he sneezed and his face smacked the water. And they both just looked at each other and they just started cracking up. And so it was just like the funniest little moment. I was like, that moment meant so much to me, and just like that was a big dad gang moment for me.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
That's amazing.
You guys ever have any moments like that?
I was just going to say, I think sometimes the journey is so fun, but it's only fun after you make it.
Yeah.
But sometimes you wish you were back in that grind because we're all men of faith and like Grant's probably the biggest as far as like manifesting goes and all these things. And like, we always tell ourselves like these things will happen for us through faith and through our belief in our journeys and the things that we do manifest or say will come about. And then, so when you have that faith that you will end up in a decent place at some point, the journey does become a lot more fun. Whereas like if you are struggling through it, and everybody does, but like if you are struggling through it and your mentality is this isn't going to work, then that journey is going to suck. Like at the end of the day, it's not going to be fun. And so like, I think as long as you keep that mentality and through your wife and kind of being a good team of this is going to work out, and especially saying that when it's not working out is the best. And I love how you guys, when you were just speaking, you're like, we got cut.
Yeah.
We got moved to here. Like you're in it together, and like having that support system, like all the way through is huge.
I mean, it takes a village, especially when you have 2.
1,000%.
How is the transition from 1 kid
to
it's
2
kids?
10 kids.
I always
Immediately.
You're experiencing it now too, but because I have a 10 and a 6-year-old, 2 kids as well, and 1 felt hard at the time. And then we had 2, and I was like, oh my gosh, this feels like 10.
Yeah.
I do not understand how it feels like. So how's that transition been for you guys?
It's been interesting, but it's also been it's been fun. Because the thing is like you learn more about each other. Me and my wife, we learn more about each other than I would have known before. And so when we first had our child, I was like, man, like I haven't seen you in this light because you're, you see a softness to her that you haven't seen before because it's like you're more gentle, you're more, your voice raises a little bit. Like you started like, I never sound like that before. And so like there's things that you see about her that, that is interesting. You have appreciation towards that. And then when you have the second one, I remember what we were talking before, just like, well, how? Like, I don't know how I'm going to love another baby. Like, I love the first one.
Real question.
And so for me, it's just like, well, it's just like if you're having like dessert, like, there's a certain dessert that you love and there's a certain appetizer that you love. Like you still love, your food, but at the end of the day, like, you still enjoy those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, it's like, you're just having the best of both worlds, really. And so with our second one, when she came out, it's just like, man, like I love her too. And so, you kind of like differentiate the love because obviously they love, you love your children differently. but you still love them the same.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's interesting the way that how I approach Jubilee and how the way I approach Jador is just so different. And because they also act a little different too, because, you know, Dory right now, she's a little bit more, she needs a little bit more attention. She needs to be caught a little bit. And Jubilee, I mean, she just needs like a smile. And like, she's good and she's set and she just needs like a tickle in the back. And honestly, she's good. But Jador right now, she just needs a hug. She needs more like affection, and she needs more like eye to eye contact. And so that's the kind of differences is like something that I'm starting to realize as the more they get older, the more I get older, and honestly, just the way how they'll grow in the future. Because obviously they always change. I mean, they just change so much. I mean, I know you know they're like 10 and 6. So the thing is, like, they change so much.
10 feels like 16 right now.
Yeah, it all happens faster.
Fourth grade, fifth grade is wild. Yeah, it's crazy.
I know your little school drama you always talk about. You're like, oh my
Our
God.
group chat, yeah. I was like, how is this even happening in fourth grade?
You're like, I got to go talk to some parents right now.
Vince, like, yeah.
Yeah, I have a boy and a girl, so boys 2 and Max, and Lucy's 4. And I remember that too, like when we brought Max home, Lucy instantly got so much older. Wow. It was like, not technically, but in my eyes, I was like, who is this older child?
Wow.
And at the same time, you know, we have a shirt that says you only get 18 summers on the back of it. And that is the hardest pill to swallow.
Yeah.
I even know on Instagram right now, it's like, there's a trend that like people playing sad music and they're like, it's so hard realizing that this isn't forever. And it'll be like a little kid just like playing in the sand.
Yeah.
Like, damn, I you know, that part's really hard to process. And so when we brought Max home, it was like, oh, she just like doubled in age on us.
So crazy.
Yeah, so
crazy. I was just telling Shannon, I tell her this almost probably every day, and I said this is the last day that she will be this little.
Yep. Yeah.
Because tomorrow she's going to be growing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, whether we see it with our eyes or not, I mean, she's growing, whether we think she's growing or not. And so it's just crazy that, you know, every day that she gets older. And it's honestly, I read that when you said when you only have 18, so I'm like, dang, like.
Yeah, it really
like, that really is days away because
we almost felt bad putting the churn out because they like some dads were like, oh man, I'm gonna get it, but it's really messing with me right.
Yeah, I mean,
what makes you emotional like thinking about it? Because I mean Jax is 9, so you're halfway there too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, wow, that's all. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Did you feel like having 2 girls like your temperate changed a little bit? Because I don't have boys, so I can't speak to that. But like having 2 girls, it was weird. It's like you become softer and harder all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you become more protected, but also more like emotional.
Yeah.
How was that?
I feel like I was, I mean, I'm naturally a softer person.
Yeah.
So me having girls, like I was not surprised.
Same.
Like I told my wife like several times, like I believe I'm going to have all girls. I do want to have a boy at some point, but I truly believe that I will have more girls than boys just because like I know, I don't know, I just know how to treat girls and like how and what they need and like how they need to be, you know, stewarded, I guess, in a way. And so when I'm like, you know, talking to them, I feel like they're so fun. I mean, girls, they talk so much.
They do.
And I love a talker. And I feel like when I was growing up and, you know, talking to boys, they just were like so shy and like so nerdy. I'm just like, oh, can you like please talk? Like I need communication. But when the girls are like growing up, like they talk so much and they're so fun and they're so communicative and, you know, you can learn a lot from them as much as you're, you know, teaching them stuff. So I feel like for me, I was soft, but there's more of a softness and really a forgiveness that I have. Like there's more of a forgiveness factor that's just like, you know, she's my princess. That's what I call her. I call her my princess and my nugget. Like that's what I called it to. And it's always just like the redemption story like they have. Like even if they do something wrong, it's like, oh, like she just climbed up on the chair and like now she's crying. It's just like, all right,
just come.
And then you're right. And it's just like with a boy, I feel like I'm just like, you don't need to be crying. Like, come on. Yeah. Like you're a boy.
Like that.
Yeah. But with a girl, I feel like I had to be a lot more
with your words.
Yeah, like you have to be more cognizant of what you say because also it sticks with them too. So girls, you're a little more gentle. I was always gentle, but like I'm a lot more gentle and more selective of what I say.
Yeah, I'll be right there with you.
Yeah, I'm raising Jax and now Banks, and it's like completely different from that aspect. Like When we walk through a door, you look behind you in case somebody's coming, you're going to hold it from. We're at the grocery store. You look at the cashier's name tag. You introduce yourself. Right. How's your day going, Daisy? Wow. You know, you're looking right at him.
Wow.
When we walk by anybody of service, whether it's a police officer, a fireman, you say, hey, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's just like a different way I'm raising him to carry himself. And,
absolutely,
you know, not saying I wouldn't do that for a girl as well, but it's just a difference. Like, hey, you're right there. Hey, my name's Jackson Easty. Nice to meet you, you know? And so anytime.
He's really good at it too.
Really strong shade. Yeah. And yeah, it's just different though, because for my thing is, you know, him growing up as a young boy, you know, our time, we never know when we're going to go.
It's true.
And I want to make sure that he has everything that I have.
Absolutely.
You know, from character to how you walk with your chest up and how you talk to people and how you treat people. You know, it's so important that if I'm gone tomorrow, he's already learned that. Yeah. You know, I don't wait on that. So it's, and I mean, he's probably the biggest reason I'd say Banks is here.
Wow.
Because we pray every night before we go to sleep and we say our prayers out loud.
Yeah.
And we had tried for just under 3 years for the second one. We saw all the doctors, got all the tests. It was just unexplained infertility and it just wasn't happening. And not to say we lost faith, but it was really difficult. And every time we laid down, he would always pray to be a big brother, you know, and he was like, please God, I want to be a big brother. You know, we pray for a little boy or a little girl, baby brother, baby sister. And when I found our prayers didn't have that in it, he always had it. And it wasn't intentional. It was just like, I may have forgot it in that prayer, but he remembered it.
Wow.
And he kept praying every single night, praying for it. And it happened. And it was just, you know, so I give all that to him and his prayers. And, you know, every time we see him, it's like, your prayers were answered, buddy. You know, so always, I mean, amazing. Salvation over circumstances. Yeah. We have it on the side of that.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, what's that mean?
Yeah. So salvation over circumstance for me, and even in relation to Dad Gang, is more so that the circumstance that I'm in right now, it doesn't outweigh the salvation of Jesus Christ. And so in the way of it is that just the way that what he's done, how he went up on a cross voluntarily, he died on the cross for us, and the way that he died for us. And I'm over here complaining about, you know, something so ridiculous. Like even last year, I think that was more pivotal for me than anything. And I went through a rough year just with like football, just like mentally, like I hired everything, like a therapist and everything. And me and my wife, we talked the most we ever talked. But just realizing that all of that is just so temporary to what he's done for us on the cross, and I'm worried about something so little when he's done something so pivotal, not only for me, but for everybody that walks on this earth. And so just realizing that, and just that I need to have my eyes fixed on something bigger than honestly myself. And so when you kind of put it more, because honestly, when you guys are just like, you should do salvation over circumstance, I'm just like, all right, well, how does that, you know, compared to Dad Gang, like, how was that, you know?
Yeah.
But if you really look at it, like just my circumstance right now with me being a dad, like I have to understand that what he's on the cross, like I have an opportunity to have a job. And so just to me thinking about it, like we all have a purpose. We have a purpose just like Adam and Eve had a purpose. And it said to be fruitful, to multiply, to fill the earth, and to subdue it. And so just meaning subdue it means to nourish it and to watch it grow. And so that's our job, you know, what God put a purpose in us, for us to watch something grow and to nourish it just the way he intended it for Adam and Eve. And so for us, I'm like, all right, well, that's exactly what it is. Like this circumstance that I'm in right now, if I'm waking up at, you know, 2:00 because my little one is having a sleep regression, like, let me go do that. And because he's giving me a purpose and a job to do something to help them. And there's a reason why I'm doing that, is because of what he's done for us. And so, that's what salvation over circumstance means for me. I mean, that was pivotal. I mean, I have it in my Instagram bio, and I probably won't take it down. It's just something that I have to continually live by and keep in my brain, because it's much more than the circumstances that I have on earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
That is. I love that.
Yeah, this patch turned out. I was pretty stoked that what side is the patch.
Yeah, this.
How it all came out. Yeah. Actually, here I go. Yeah, it's like having the little. I know it'll be kind of hard to get into the camera, but people will see it at some point. But like having the little, pink in there for the girls, and obviously for New Orleans.
Yeah.
And 83, has that always been your number?
83 has not always been my number. And honestly, I was at a conference. I was at a Fanatics conference, and they were asking me the same question, like, "Where's your number always 83, and why didn't you change it?" And I was like, "Well, I didn't change it because, I mean, honestly, I've had many conversations with the equipment managers, my wife, but she doesn't want me to change because she has so many 83 gear. She has so much 83 gear. And then, like, my friends, I even looked on ChatGPT, like, oh, what would my number look like if I, like, had number 5 or whatever? And I'm just like, I want to stay with 83 because that's what I was given when I was against the NFL as an undrafted, rookie. And so it means a little bit more. I got scared because I was in a dream and I was like wearing 15. I was like, no, that is not it. Like, I was like, bro, like, put me back at 83. And honestly, that's how I knew like 83 was just my number. And truly, it just fits me. It fits me.
Yeah.
It has a story, and and I want to start with something and finish with the same thing. And honestly, that's how I feel about New Orleans. Like when I start with this, I want to also leave as Saint as well. So I think 83 has been like my number. As much as I was like, yeah, should I have it? Should I? It's just me. Like it really fits me, and I think everybody around the facility calls me 83. So I think it'll be weird for me to be called something else. So 83 just sticks because honestly, it's just part of me now.
Yeah. This is one of the first hats. I mean, you're our first NFL player, which is awesome that we get to work with you. And like, we never, as a brand, we never like force anything.
Yeah.
So it almost gets to a point where like you wore our hats so much that it's like, bro, this is getting awkward. We got to do something, right? Like, that's kind of how we like to work as a brand. We've never put pressure on the brand and the community to like scale to crazy growth or anything. Like we just want to keep building this community and keep building a deeper meaning to how fatherhood is represented just online and how people see it and like tell more stories. But your hat is like the first hat that has like a real true like life story moved all the way through it. Wow. So even your time spent at Oregon and Penn State is in the colors blending, and that was a fun one. Like because EJ designed the majority of our.
So it was really nice. It turned out amazing.
And that was the first time we've ever done kind of like I don't know what you would call it. Like, that flows into each other. So that was really cool to make.
That's amazing.
Yeah, just an honor to work with you and like be able to tell your story through a hat. Who would have thought you could actually do that?
That's more than that. But no, I mean, I appreciate you guys. I mean, even it was just like so weird. I mean, I was just wearing it. But like, man, like this hat is dope. And honestly, this was like the first hats that I was like actually get into it because I wasn't always a hat guy, honestly, until I got to the NFL. And I was like, I'm just going to wear a hat.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of one of those days where it's just like you in camp, you just tired. You haven't got a haircut in so long.
Yep.
You're just throwing right now. You're just throwing a hat. And so like, honestly, I've just been wearing the hats. And I don't even think I was supposed to be wearing like these hats, but I was wearing it on the sideline.
I remember.
And I was like, dude, I was like, hey.
It was a Thursday.
Like, it wasn't even like a thought. Yeah, it wasn't even a thought. I was just wearing it, but it had the same color scheme.
Yeah.
The Saints, and I was just wearing it, and I didn't get nobody said anything about it, and I was just like, all right, cool.
I remember that distinctly. You're like, what is he doing? Yeah, it was a Thursday night football game. I think someone got injured in that game too.
Yes,
and like panned on your face. I think I got like 100 text messages of like, "There's a dad gang hat on Thursday night football." I was like, just mind blown, because it's like, like we never thought that anything like that could have ever happened, So it was such a cool moment and something I remember distinctly.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like, I don't know if I'm really wearing that, but nobody said anything.
That's fact.
And it was just,
it's pretty cool. Like moments like that, they spiderweb out far and wide, and we get messages all the time on how proud dads are to just put it on, and when they see somebody of your caliber Thursday night football rocking it, it just really empowers them to keep going. We get honestly, some very sad messages from dads or from wives of their husbands who have passed away who used to wear hats.
Wow.
It's, it's very surreal to kind of read those just to kind of keep going. So, having you rock with us and where you've worn it and just how you've worn it, it's really meant a lot to a lot more people than you may know.
Yeah.
And, we've had wives reach out because it's like their house burnt down and it was their dad's favorite hat.
Yeah.
And so, or their husband's favorite hat. So we'd send you know, some hats, or like a house went down in a flood, you know, or husband passed away and the baby crawled and grabbed dad's hat. You know, it's just like stuff that's difficult to read, but necessary, you know, to truly comprehend the power that's being formed around it because of gentlemen like yourself who are rocking it. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Well, you got to ask your question you ask every single time.
What's my question?
At the end.
What was my question again? That you can ask it.
Live it. It's come here. You ask it so well. Yeah.
If you were to have a message that you would give your kids when they look back on this,
oh man,
what would you say to them? And you got to go into the camera.
That one's yours.
That one right there.
This one right here.
Yeah, right here. Right here.
Yeah. Oh man, a message I would give my kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
They just speak directly to your girls.
Yeah. Man, this is something. Definitely don't want to get emotional.
You can if you need.
But yeah. So Jubilee and Jador. Daddy loves you so much. He tries his absolute best to be a standard that he wants your future husbands to have. And we know that it was very hard to get you to, because we've had issues before trying to have babies. And so you two are our blessings and our joy, and we appreciate you so much. And so when you're able to read this and understand this, know that me and your mother, we love you too so much, and that you are amazing, and that you are on purpose for life for a reason. So live life on purpose and live it for intention. So we love you so much, and hope you enjoy.
That's good.
Beautiful.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah,
we'll get that clipped out to you. Have that.
I was gonna ask too. Like the one thing is like my kids don't know what I do for a living. Like dad makes hats and he sells hats, and there's hats all over the house and stuff. And like and your oldest is 2?
Oldest is 2.
Yeah, so they're probably not at that point yet.
They love hats.
Yeah,
they love hats for sure.
But when do you think they'll get to the point where they'll be like, "Oh, my dad plays in the NFL"?
Man, truly, honestly, maybe when I'm done.
Yeah.
Maybe why are we going to all these games?
Maybe when I'm done, I think they'll fully understand. And honestly, and that's something that it's interesting, because my wife, she does content. So, it's also interesting where people are also walking up to her and just bolt.
Easy.
It's also interesting that people are walking up to her in the same breath that they're like walking up to me, and just like that whole thing. And so I also want to be cognizant that they are also in the public eye as well, because they're being posted, and we're just showing our family dynamic. And so I truly think they'll know about me playing professional football probably after, because I do have different endeavors that I want to get into too.
Awesome.
So it'll be interesting to be like, oh, well, I didn't know, and then they'll see pictures of them like in the stands, taking pictures and junk. So yeah, I truly think it'll be after. I don't know. I don't think honestly, I really don't think they care. Yeah,
no, mine don't either.
To be honest, I really don't think they care. I just think they enjoy being on a big football field and running after the game.
Yeah,
that's so fun.
You want them. I don't know. When I'm thinking about it, sometimes I'm like, man, I hope they think what I do is cool. Like, because I grew up. My dad was he worked out in the Alaskan Ocean on a massive fishing boat. So he was like, I knew, speaking of sacrifice, like he would be gone for like 2-3 months at a time.
Dangerous.
Yeah,
very dangerous.
And he doesn't know how to retire. That's a whole nother running joke. Like the guy just can't stop working. But he like I always thought, even though that job may not be like quote unquote like viewed as entertaining or cool tech stuff, but to me it's like the most awesome thing ever for you to go out into the ocean, the unknown, for 3 months at a time, just because you want to make sure your family's good. Because we immigrated from Poland when I was 7, and that's all he did. So it's kind of like, now I understand. When you're like 4 or 5 years old, you're like, oh, Dad, don't go. But now it's kind of like, okay, I get it. That was
Yeah.
That was an insane sacrifice. We should probably stop now. We're good. But yeah, I always just think about that. Like I hold my kids respect when I'm telling them. They think it's like an awesome job and they understand that. Like, we're doing this for them too.
Yeah. And that's also one thing. Like I feel like kids don't get it until they get it. Like I didn't realize, because my dad did a lot. I mean, he was, he worked 2 jobs. He was also the president of my football league. He was the president of my track league. And so I was like, well, why are you doing so much? But I think, looking back, older me was just like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Not only because I'm older, but also because I have kids. It's just like he was definitely just trying to provide. And those connections that he's made also are connections that I have now with the people that he's had. And so, he's been going for 6 years now, and also the same relationships that he's had when he was, alive, or the relationships now that I have with the people that he was, friends with. And so I just think unintentionally he was just kind of, prepping that for me and my brothers, which is a sacrifice in itself.
The president of your track league and football league is probably the most time consuming over the regular job. I run a travel baseball program.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him like, shoot, this is taking more of my time than my
it's a lot. It's a lot. Like you're going through the finances of it. You're going through, the jerseys. You're going through concessions. You're counting. It's just like, it's a whole bunch that I didn't even know that he was doing. But when you're looking back at it, it's just like, man, he was doing all of that.
Yeah.
And I even told my wife, we were on a trip. We were in Turks and just talking about my father. And I was like, well, I remember he drove from New Jersey 3 hours to Penn State, and then literally picked me up, did a loop-de-loop, and went right back to Jersey. I'm just like, bro, he did 6 hours on the road just so I can get back home. It's just like, that's just what a dad does. It's just the sacrifice that they have. That's the assignment.
Yeah, when I drove, or when we moved down to California, I packed up our SUV with my dog in it, and I was like, Dad, because he wanted to drive down with me and help me. And I was like, well, you're either going to come say goodbye, or, you're going to help me move. It's up to her. He's like, no, I'll help you move. And so I was like, what one do you want to drive? And he said the U-Haul, 100%. Like, he wanted to take the tougher one, even though I was probably in a better position to do so. But he took the U-Haul. Come to find out, it got like fogged up because it was in the middle of winter, and it had no power steering, and the winds were like gusting. And so we had to take a couple rest stops, and he was just white knuckling it all the way down. And when he got out of the U-Haul, he was like, whew, and he could breathe. And I was like, you want me to take over there? He's like, no, I don't want you driving this thing. And just for him to still say that, when I'm in my late 20s, like, no, it's too dangerous. I want to drive this. And like, fatherhood never turns off.
That's amazing. That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great chat.
You guys
absolutely.
Absolutely. That was incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible, guys.
Cool. So he's just gonna
got some rapid fire questions for fun to keep it light.
Great.
All right, we're gonna go number 1. Goldfish crackers or fruit snacks?
Fruit snacks.
Paw Patrol or Bluey?
Oof. Paw Patrol.
Okay. What's the weirdest thing you've said out loud as a parent?
Wow.
That.
Wow. You had to get back to me. There's quite a skip.
Okay, so we're gonna go into like some sentimental and insight. Those are the fun ones.
Okay.
Best parenting advice you've ever got?
Take it day by day.
Ooh, that's a good one. How do you show love when you're tired?
Honestly, I just tell them I love them. Vocally, just tell them I love them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. One thing you've learned from your kids?
One thing I learned from my kids is that, oh man, I feel like truly they are happy even when like situations are bad, that they're always happy. That's not many times that they're like upset. They don't cry. I think I can work on that, not crying. They don't cry at all. Like they are kids that just like they don't cry. So I think less crying, more happiness.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go into some real talk. Have you ever locked yourself in the bathroom just to breathe for a second?
Yes.
All right.
The toilet. Yeah.
What are you doing in there?
Yeah. Been a while. Hour later, you gotta text them to see where
you go. Always.
Where are you at? Who really runs your house? You two or the kids?
The kids.
Same.
Specifically our oldest one. She runs the house.
What's your go-to bribe?
Go-to bribe?
Candy, screen time.
Oh, screen time.
Yep.
Yeah.
One parenting moment that made you cry, good or bad?
Ooh, one parenting moment that made me cry. Honestly, truly, when I see a video of my girls playing together and my little one hugs my oldest one hugs the little one, that warms my heart. Yeah.
Can you play one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that though, as a dad of two girls who like are like best friends, it gets more like emotional. I swear, as they get older, become like closer.
I can't wait.
My wife sent me a video of my 4-year-old daughter reading to my 2-year-old son.
Oh,
And I was like,
tell you, they are fun, man.
All right, we got a couple more.
Okay.
Early bedtime or sleeping in?
For me or them?
Either.
Oh, early bedtime.
I like that too.
Early bedtime.
My kids, I swear, never go to bed before like 10:30. We start at like 7, and we're like 11:30 by the time we're actually asleep.
Jackson takes so long. It's
like, what do you?
Oh my gosh! I'm like, okay, go brush your teeth, and then all of a sudden he's like floating down the hallway, and then he's poking his head around the corner. He's like, "Look, Dad, Spider-Man!" And he like stalls, does everything in a 10-foot distance.
Let's get to bed.
Oh my gosh!
Let's get to bed, please.
Carpool karaoke or quiet commute?
Quiet commute.
I like that. All right, last one. Matching outfits, cute or cringe?
I like cringe.
Yeah, my kids.
I like cringe. Like, honestly, like, there's been times where I'm always like, you want a boy so bad. Like, you dress her up in, like, freaking Jordans. I put in, like, Jordans or Air Forces. And she's just like, no, do not put her in that. We were just, like, wearing the same thing.
We were just talking about that, too, how, like, the gap between dads and kids are, like, you match now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I would never wear what my dad wore. Like,
fair.
And then my dad would absolutely never wear what he wore. But
like, the fashion gap is way different.
It's closing like crazy. Like dads and sons are actually. I mean, Jackson dresses just like you.
Yeah, he loves putting my clothes on, even oversized, just being little me. And it started more so once he found out we were having another son. And that's been, it's been interesting to see. And
he literally throws on your clothes.
Yeah, my clothes, my glasses, my hat, everything. It's adorable. That was one thing we dealt with, because in our prayers and everything that I said, it's always like, you're just the best son. I love you so much. You're the best son. Now we have another son, but I get away with it because one, it's like different decades. So you're the best son of that decade. Right. He's the best son of this decade, so we're good.